Hi guys, my name is Manjunath, and in last video we have learned how to get images from Docker Hub. In this particular video we are going to learn what is container and how to run a container. Just think of container is a process. It's a very lightweight process using which you can run your application. It needs blueprint, that is this image, and whenever we run the container it will be using some image to run it. So that's why we need to get the image whenever we need to install it. If we don't have images when we are creating container, then it's going to pull it from Docker Hub and we'll be able to use it. So let me just create first container in this particular tutorial. You can create container easily by using similar commands like how we pulled the image, that is docker container run minus it dash dash name. We can give our image any name we want. So I'll be running Ubuntu container. That's why I'll name it as my Ubuntu. Let me just get the spelling proper. Okay, and you have to type the name of the image which you need, that is Ubuntu. That's the name which is available here, that is Ubuntu. So let me just go through whatever I have typed. Docker container run means it will create and run that particular container. It means interactively, meaning we will be able to communicate with the container when we are running it. If we don't put it, then it will just run it and we won't be able to use it. And name will be name of the container which we are going to create. It will be very useful if you put the name so that we can easily stop it, destroy it. So this is the name of the image. So if I just click on enter, it will go through and it will just run the container. See how fast it ran this particular container. I just clicked enter and immediately it gave me the console from the container. So this is the Ubuntu. This is not my Windows operating system. It will have almost core of Ubuntu. That's why you can't find much information in this particular page. But if I just type who, will not have like all these commands. But you can just list down directory and you can even go to root and you can see something is available in let's just say lib. So in this particular folder you will have like all the things which are available in Ubuntu. So let me just try apt command, apt update. Okay, see, it is actually updating the system and it's downloading it from Ubuntu's repository. So that means Ubuntu image is installed and it's actually currently running. So let me just cancel it because it's not required for us to learn Docker. If you are like using Ubuntu, you can just update it and you can install whatever the things you want to install whenever you are using Ubuntu. So let me just exit it. When I exit it, let me just see if the container is stopped or it's running. So in order to see that, docker container ls. So if I type, it is not showing that it's running, but if I just type -a, then it will show that it actually ran, that is exited 19 seconds ago. Now let's just try to install something which is useful. Ubuntu is actually like something which is for system administrators and all. So now let's try to run something interesting, that is we'll run nginx container. If you are a web developer, you know there is something called as nginx, which is web server, using which we can run our html and css and all the other web files. So let me just try to create that particular container, and in order to create it, it's same as before, docker container run, and last time we typed it, that means interactively we were able to interact it using command line. Now let me just type -d, means detached, meaning it will run it in the background and we'll be able to close this particular terminal and we'll be able to still access nginx running container. So let me just run it in -d, and we have to map a port using -p, and we'll map it to 8000, and in the container, it will be port 80. Just try to understand this. 8000 is the port name of your computer, meaning if you are going to website and you are going to access it, you have to access it in 8000 port, and 80 is the default port of the container. In Nginx image, that is blueprint of Nginx, will have port 80 as default. In different images this will be different, but in Nginx it's port 80. That's why we are able to access it in 8000 when we map it to 80. You can change this particular port, but this, in order to change this particular port, there will be some customization which we'll be doing later. But now let me just name my container as a dash name, and we can name it anything. I'll name it as my Nginx, and it will need name of the image which will be used for making this particular container. So let me just press enter and it will create it. Once we have created it, we can just see if it is running by typing docker container ls. Now you can see it's actually running, and you will see some of the information. It will say that it's running on 80 port 80, that is TCP on the container. And if I just make it little bit big, you will be able to see it better. It is running on port 8000 on my local system and in port 80 of the container. Let me just go to localhost colon 8000 and let me see if Nginx is accessible. So here it is, the Nginx default web page. We'll be changing it in next video, but let's just try to understand that it's actually ran this particular container and it's actually running it, so that even if I close this particular terminal, it will be still working. So let me just try to show you how we can delete this particular image. In order to delete a container, we need to stop it. So docker container stop, and we can give the name of the container, that is my Nginx. And once we run this particular command, it will just show my Nginx. That's the name of the command. And again, if we run docker container ls, it will show that it's not running. Now we can remove this particular container if we don't require it. That is docker container and rm my Nginx. It will remove the container, and now it won't be accessible through -a command also. So here also we can't see it. We can only see ubuntu and hello world command which we ran in previous video. So that's it for this particular video, guys, and in next video we'll know how to customize this particular page and we can access it. At the moment, if we refresh it, it's not going to work and it will give error that it can't be reached because we stopped the container and we also deleted it. If you like this particular video, don't forget to hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and see you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.